Happy Monday and welcome to the patio. We're back out in the patio. We're back the patio and we've also got help today. Hey, bud, are you helping? Yes, he's helping today. We've got an assistant, sort of, at least until he gets bored and goes back inside. Tattle the Open virtual happy hour is on the air. Here we go. Happy Monday to you. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's see if we're a little check here. Yeah, we're working. And on cue, the two viewers that get, if there are frequent flyer miles for watching and listening to my nonsense, well, the one who just chimed in, my wife would be one of them. She'd be executive platinum, and then and concierge key, and along with my mom would be concierge key, which that's the secret level, or not really secret, it's the level above executive platinum that only so many people attain. But anyway, glad to see her out there. Glad you guys are along on a Monday. Speaking of folks that are concierge key, unmute her, but let's bring Mom on from Indiana as it's a beautiful day here. What's it like there in Indyville, Mom?
It's raining now. It had windy and raining. And so I apologize for the way I look.
What, have you been swimming?
Yeah, it looks like it. I was trying to cover up the fact that I laundered my hair earlier and never got around to curling it because I wasn't going anywhere. But tomorrow I have a busy day, so I'll get it curled tomorrow. I thought maybe my glasses would cover up a little bit, but oh well. Oh yeah, well, I've got my wine. So there you go.
That's why you have a cap. You can always throw a cap on.
Oh, I don't like caps. I don't even have any. I don't have one to put on.
All right, all good. Good.
So I almost didn't come on. I thought I'll just cut straight to the chase and go on the other part. But
yeah. Well, I mean, the show's dying on the vine, so at least it kind of, you showing up kind of keeps it going. That's good. So
that's good. Hey, I missed Wednesday last week and Friday last week, so I miss it.
You didn't miss much.
Oh, I do. Hey, as long as I get to see you and Gay Marie, that's in Max and Kitty, whatever the kitty is.
She's Kitty, and she's in there following Mom around. I'm not sure what's going on. She usually would. Well, actually, you know what? She let her out. I don't see her out here, so maybe she's inside. The dog's out here. He's right here.
I saw him. I saw him.
Hey, folks. Yeah. He's kind of like, I think he's waiting.
He's shy.
I think he saw me walk to the living room and grab. The wife was watching Judge Judy and having tortilla chips. I think he thought I brought him out here, and he thought he was going to have some tortilla chips. But good to see you, Holly. Hope you're doing well out there. But now he's just kicking it. So he kind of likes to hang out here, sort of, but he's kind of keeping an eye to make sure that nothing gets eaten without his approval. Mm-hmm. So, and there's no eating out here right now. So,
I got
all right, buddy.
Yeah, I got
all right. He'll be, if the birds fly over, he'll bark at them in a moment. So he'll be all good. But anyway, so all good. So a little rough weather there, huh?
Well, it's slowed down now. It came about an hour ago. It was pretty windy. Of course, I have those trees that have needles. They shed a certain amount, and of course, the lawn people had come today and did away with most of them. And then now I've got a whole new deck full of them because the wind and the rain blew them off. So here we go.
Gotcha.
You know, it's a tough life.
Yeah, it is a tough life. I don't know how you do it with all the good times. I don't know how you do it, Mom.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, Connie and I had good times last Wednesday at the wine dinner. So.
Yes, the Artisan Wine Wednesday, definitely a must visit in Elkhart, Indiana. That's a good place. Enjoyed it.
Yeah. So, well,
Enjoy it.
I will move on to the other side. So,
Yeah, it's a little
Coach,
light today. We don't have a lot to really get into. So I mean, there's only really one storyline in these parts. So we'll go to that in a moment. But all right, all good. Enjoy the rest of your week and go Council of Aging or the Council of Aging or whatever. Yeah, Council of
on
Aging.
aging. I'm the
Yes,
authority on aging.
yes. There you go. All right,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. Okay. Love
All
you.
right. Love you, Mom. Be good. There she is. There's Mom. Mom Cam, they're joining us from Indiana. She is in Elkhart, Indiana, which is, about 20 clicks from South Bend, the metro South Bend, Michiana area. And that's the deal. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I mean, now he's barking because Mom walked out.
Yeah, I thought I'd come say hello.
Well, okay. Well, let me take this up because I can't hear you. So what were you saying?
I thought I'd come say hello.
Well, now you got him barking.
Did I get you barking, Bubba?
He thinks.
You want to be on camera?
Well, he was on camera. He was on camera.
Say hello.
He was on.
Give Daddy kisses.
Daddy smell like tortilla chips. Is that why you're sniffing around?
No.
You think I just came in from
He's
Fernando's?
giving you a hug.
Look, you think I just came in from Fernando's? Because
Giving you a hug.
whenever we come in from our favorite Mexican restaurant, Fernando's or Phoenix or Chibanamba, he goes nuts because he smells the deliciousness of the Yeah, there you go, Bob. There you go.
You like the deliciousness? Yeah. So are you getting ready to talk about Dak?
Yeah, but I guess I was just kind of see what's going on out there.
I just replayed several of the injuries at Saturday's game and or Sunday's game, and all I kept thinking of was, please don't show that again. It makes my stomach hurt.
Huh? Yeah, it was not. Well, it's that second angle. It's not the first. The first angle.
Horrible.
The first angle
Horrible. Don't
actually.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Thinking about it in my head.
All right, well, okay. Well, can't really not talk about it. But
Well, you can talk about it, but
what, bud?
not for me. Did
He was-
everybody notice your cute haircut?
No, no one. There's only two people watching. You and Mom. That's it. So it's not
Well,
like.
you have a cute haircut.
That's not like a lot of folks are watching. Buddy, come here. I know you want to chime in, but I just lost you guys. Sorry about that. Not sure what I lost you guys. I went off, just came back on again. I don't know what happened there exactly. I'm kind of watching the replay here, see what happened because I went away.
You went away.
Yeah, it went away and counted down again. I'm not sure what's going on. I thought we'd solve the internet issues out here, but no, maybe no. I guess it. Yeah,
No, I don't think it went away.
no, it did because it did count down again. It counted down like it went away. So maybe it. Let's see, boy, on replay I got that old man neck too working for me. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, I guess it counted down, but I guess it didn't really go off the air. It's all good. Cool. Anyway, what this system does is right when you go on the air, it gives you 3, 2, 1, you're live, and then I press that 2-minute countdown, and that rolls for 2 minutes, and it just gave me a 3, 2, 1 that like I was off the air and on the air again, but it didn't ever jump off the air as I'm watching the replay. I never jumped off the air. So all good. So anyway, but yeah. So you have to tutor today, and I don't have the mic. I didn't bring the mics out, so the mic
But
you're not being heard very
There is
well.
some breaking news.
Well,
We have a dinner guest coming.
What?
We have a dinner guest coming all the way from Irving.
I don't know what that even means.
We have somebody joining us for dinner.
Okay, but most people can't. You have to be a little loud, closer to here because most people can't hear you. So what are you talking about?
I said we have a dinner guest.
Okay, but that doesn't tell me anything.
Who would be coming from Irving?
Is Caroline coming on
Yes.
why is she coming on a Monday?
Because she needs to drop off a box that she wants one of us to mail tomorrow.
That'd be me.
She figured that if she came, would feed her.
Free
and we
food.
will. There you go. That's what we do.
So we're gonna have terrible decisions to make tonight.
And then we have to talk about like questions she needs to ask at her doctor's appointment on Wednesday.
Okay. All right. So what time should she be here?
She's coming, but she's stuck at home.
Yeah, we
But
should
I
have.
told her that I was tutoring.
I thought you were tutoring now. That's why I didn't bring the microphones down. You could have been on the mics have been. Like,
Tutoring in 10 minutes.
okay. Inside? Is somebody coming here?
No, inside.
Okay.
Virtual.
Okay, virtual. Okay.
Yeah, so you're good.
All right. All good.
Okay.
All right. Love you. See you.
Bye.
I'm gonna plug back in, guys. So anyway, there we go. Okay, let's plug back in. Lovely town of wife there, love her. I don't know, and a lot of you folks will be watching in replay, and some of you folks in Australia who are waking up. I see Kyle there. He's in the Midwest. Sean would know this. Holly would definitely know. I'm seeing some folks have chimed in and checked in. And I don't want to, this is going to sound a little snarky, but don't take it that way. The Metroplex, state of Texas, North Texas, Cowboy fandom, you see where I'm going with this, is really unrivaled anywhere else in this country. I can't think of any other place. I guess right now, currently Kansas City, because of the Chiefs' popularity and their success in recent years with the Super Bowl last year, I would think, I see David chiming in, I would also think perhaps in the heyday, which I guess still the tail end of it, of the Patriots runs, you would also see some of this. But this is a consistent situation going back to when I was a kid. And this goes back to when I can first remember the news, sports as a little elementary school kid, that when certain things happen in this metropolitan area, it becomes front page news. Where maybe in, say, Oklahoma City last night, or St. Louis last night, or wherever, it may have been COVID, would have been the top story of the news. All three networks, all four, because you got NBC, CBS, ABC, and Fox. The lead story was the Dak Prescott story. It's been like that in this area for as long as I can remember. I was born in the late 60s, early 70s. Dallas-Fort Worth was barely a top 20 market then. Since that time, it's grown into be the top 4 or 5 markets in the country. New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and then it kind of becomes either the Bay Area, South Florida, DFW, and then Philly kind of right behind them. And then Boston's in the mix too, but DFW, anywhere, depending how you look at it, TV eyeballs, 8 million plus. But this goes back even when Dallas was not that big of an area. Back early 70s when the Cowboys kind of became the America's team. Any news of the Cowboys of this nature could be a big win in Minnesota and the Hail Mary pass, obviously Super Bowls, Thanksgiving Day. I mean, I can tell you Thanksgiving Day news, always the first story on Thanksgiving Day news was the Cowboys game, regardless of what else is going on in the world. The only time that wasn't the case was the Kennedy assassination, which happened that same week. That was the only time that you would not have had that being the lead story of the news. That's just the way of the land. I don't think that, and again, I'm not trying to be snarky here. I don't think people understand that. I'm not trying to be, it doesn't make it right. I think the New York Yankees sort of have a bit of a say there. Notre Dame in South Bend, perhaps. But I'm talking, that is, I was still shocked. And it was my knee jerk. Besides, I'll go back to watching the game in a moment and talk about that. In case you missed it, Dak Prescott out 4 to 6 months. Very gruesome injury yesterday. But by all accounts, surgery went well. Even great to see a smiling face before surgery with his brother. The emotional scene. There's a lot of unravel here, but my first reaction was when I went, and this is last night. And remind you, because Sunday Night Football they were done about 10:38 Central Time. So the NBC station always starts late on Sunday. Usually at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night, you got the first 2-3 channels are on, or actually Fox starts at 9. But ABC went long last night with a movie. I believe it was Shameless. Yes, that Paul Rudd classic, Shameless. Speaking of Kansas City, wearing a KU cap in the movie with that classic 90s flick. And then I think Channel 11, which is CBS here, went long. The Cowboy game went a little longer, and then 60 Minutes, and then everything was pushed back. So they didn't actually get out of what they were doing until about 10:35 either. So now, mind you, all the networks won't go on late last night, all the locals. And none of them went on time at 10 except for Fox. Fox, I believe, went on at 9:30. But the three, ABC, CBS, NBC, all go on late, and even going on late last night. It wasn't the weather, it wasn't the cool front, it wasn't the fact that it was 90 degrees yesterday in Dallas-Fort Worth. It wasn't COVID numbers, which had risen in the county. Not so much in the county. The COVID numbers have risen in Fort Worth. That was a big story yesterday that Dallas is actually trending downward. Fort Worth was trending up. In Dallas, Tarrant County, which is where Fort Worth is, Dallas County meet. You've got all the surrounding counties as well. But it was one of the first times in recent memory, a week had gone by, where Tarrant County's numbers are going up and Dallas going down. That had not been the case. And there had been all kinds of COVID talk over the weekend. Of course, it was also Texas LU weekend. Bars were back open in certain places for more than 25%. There was all kinds of drama and politics of that. But the lead story last night was the injury to Dak Prescott. And that just shows you, A, his popularity, B, how much that team means to this metropolitan area and on the national sports scene as well. It's obviously a national, international brand. And I know it pisses a lot of folks off, but I think you got to go back, and I got to give you a little history lesson here. You got to go back to the days of the 70s, post-Kennedy assassination. I've already brought it up once. There was a time as a kid growing up, I recall going on vacation to places where other people from other parts of the country were from. And I remember being told as a little kid, first grade, second grade, third grade, by kids from other places, mostly Midwest and mostly Northeast. I remember we went to a dude ranch in Santa Fe back in the early 70s. I remember having teary eyes because kids would make fun of us because we were from Dallas and they thought we'd killed Kennedy. I wasn't alive then. I knew all the history of it, and I knew all of it, and I've driven by but so you got to understand where this place is coming from. Dallas had a real negative look. I mean, for the most part, you came to Texas, you skipped Dallas, and even Kennedy, people thought he was crazy for coming here in the first place. It all began before the Kennedy assassination. There was a lot of racial strife. Dallas was unfortunately at one time, a very, very segregated city. You were more likely to go to Houston, where the new oil money was, and San Antonio and Austin, and it was more like that was Texas. Dallas was not considered that part. Fort Worth was, but not Dallas. And I remember as a kid growing up, and that's why the Cowboys, I don't think people who are not from here and are Cowboys fans don't quite grasp this part of the story. That the America's team thing came along in the 70s, Tom Landry's image, that whole Christian Fellowship of Christian Athletes image, what do you want to call it? That whole corporate, let's do things right, we're dressed Sunday's best, hole in the roof so God can see, all these little things that people know about. But I think one of the underlying things that this all comes back to Dak is this team, regardless of they've not been successful for years. We know this. They've sucked. Jerry Jones this is not about Jerry Jones. It's about the brand and what the brand has done over the years. And I go back as a kid, and I can tell you, I remember when Roger Staubach retired, it was on every news station carried it live. I mean, when the Cowboys won in the separated shoulder game in the playoffs against the Giants in '94, lead story. Any Cowboy game is always a lead story in this market. It's not uncommon. I mean, Kansas City now, and I think there's a lot of markets that are like that, but it's always like that. Even when they stink, it's like that. When things are bad, it's still a big story. It's very much, and I think that the brands, I think of the Yankees, Notre Dame, and then I think recently in baseball, Cubs, Red Sox, Dodgers to a certain degree, certain markets. I'm sure there are others. I would think Alabama and Auburn fans could say that, LSU. There's certain parts of the country that there's just a certain, I know being in Jacksonville, it's a rabid fan base for the Gators, the Knowles, and all the Georgia folks who are right there. It's all that. But here it's like that. But it's so much different because I don't think people realize that there was a time as a younger city, as a non-cosmopolitan. I mean, this is before DFW Airport was built. This is before American Airlines moved here. This was when Braniff was still in its infancy. Dallas-Fort Worth, Dallas was thought of as a terrible place for a lot of reasons, and some of them rightfully so. It was a very thought of as a bit of a if there was a place outside of New Orleans where there might be some connections to the mob, this would have been one of them. If there was a place with leftist conspiracies, this would be one of them. It was very common. If you saw the shots of Kennedy coming out of Love Field, you saw the rebel flags. It was something you saw. It was not uncommon in this neck of the woods. I'm not saying that's right. I'm telling you that's unfortunate. That's the way it was. So what you got to understand is this whole Dak thing ties to that. Because growing, the Cowboy fan who grew up in, say, I see Brooke out there. Let's say it's a Cowboy fan from up in Oregon. They didn't experience this part of it growing up. I experienced this metropolitan area as a young man being thought of as a terrible place to live. Texas is a great place, but you didn't want to live in Dallas. Fort Worth, maybe, but Dallas was terrible. And there was a reputation that Dallas had in the 60s, in the early 70s, but all changed. A lot of that, not all of it. Some of it goes to Neiman Marcus. Some of it goes to the Dallas show back in the late 70s, early 80s. But the majority of it came from the history of the Dallas Cowboys becoming America's team. That part of, so you fast forward to Dak Prescott getting hurt last night. It still shocks me, but it shouldn't come as a huge shock that every network locally carried that. I mean, obviously ESPN carries it, but every station in Dallas, before they talked to COVID numbers, which are huge news, and bars reopening, that was the story at all. And it was not like just, oh, by the way, this happened. Each station carried someone was at the stadium. A couple of them had people at the hospital. They had somebody interviewing the reaction from fans at the game, fans at sports pubs. I mean, they they didn't just say, oh, have an anchor read the news and say, oh, this is what happened. They were on it. I mean, that was a huge deal. And I don't know of many of the markets, and I don't think people quite realize that. I think Kansas City be a place right now that the Chiefs do anything, everybody knows about it, I think. But there was probably a time in recent memory that wasn't the case. I think anytime a team gets popular, wherever it may be, I think there is, in more recent memory for folks in Houston with the Astros, a lot of folks down there got into it. But it all kind of comes and goes in cycles. But I think consistently the brands, right or wrong, Yankees, Irish, Man U, Dallas Cowboys, those brands seem to survive and seem to thrive regardless, and they become front page news all over the place. And I don't know if that makes it, again, I'm sitting there last night on my couch, and it's 11:50. Okay, by the time the sports actually got on, it was 11:15 Central Time because of late programming last night. But again, at 10:30, 10:45, 10 to 11, the news comes on last night, and you see nothing but stories about Dak. So that was my knee jerk on Dak, and I'll get back to what we watched on our TVs. But it was obviously all the news that I hear locally. But by the way, Mom's chiming in here, and I think Mom knows because she knows this part of it too. And I'm gonna see if I can see this. She says, last year teaching was the first year Texas schools were totally integrated. The year before you were born, yes, 1965. I was also teaching Arlington when Kennedy was assassinated. We were petrified because we thought it was a conspiracy to destroy America. Yes. And a lot of folks from parts of the country thought of people from Dallas. And Mom, you remember the trip to Bishop Lodge in Santa Fe? There was kids from all over the country. We had a great time, having a good time, and we played Cowboys and Indians or whatever. But we were from Dallas. We were considered to be, and their parents had told them that we were bad people, even though I had nothing to do with it. But we were bad. And Lee Harvey Oswald was not Dallas. And of course, we can go on and on about the Kennedy assassination. I'm not. But again, what I'm trying to explain to you is this Cowboy brand is amazing where it is because it came through such sludge to get there. They were terrible in the 60s. They got through it all, and they built this brand in this city, metropolitan area. This North Texas has now become the mecca of commerce, population. Now, Houston's got something to say about it. Houston's the fourth largest city in America, but the metropolitan area is not larger than this one. And in both of them, of course, the state of Texas has flourished since that time, and a lot of it's because of Houston and San Antonio, the Austin corridor between Austin and San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, even El Paso. I mean, even the West Texas, all those places have grown. Petroleum out in the Permian Basin, Texas has grown over the years, but a lot of the things that have happened here are directly tied to the success or lack thereof, or just the news of the Dallas Cowboys. So when something like that happens, I'm still shocked, even though my whole life I've grown up with this whole Cowboy thing. I shouldn't be shocked, but I still am taking back the fact that, it's front page news in every station. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't happen. There's a dog coming out. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen if I'm trying to think of, let's say Matt Ryan got hurt in Atlanta. I mean, is that front page news on every station in Atlanta? Maybe not. Probably not. But here it's a pretty big deal. So that's my take on that. Dak is a class act. My first reaction, I don't know if you guys saw it, but good to see Brooke not up there, brother. Man, I miss you. Hope you're doing well. My first reaction was you guys have ever been taped? If you're a football athlete or if you play any kind of sport, you've had your ankles taped. The tape's supposed to kind of keep your ankles, and those guys are taped under their shoe, over their shoe, and they're taped in there. So these things are hard to happen in general. My first reaction was that the shoe would come off from that first angle. This is what they're talking about the radio here today locally. He even tried to pop it back into place. I think he first thought, well, my tape job's bad. Then I think he felt the pain and thought, oh, well, I'm going to pop it back into place. When that didn't work, he's like, come check this out. So, class act. I mean, here's a guy that lost his brother to suicide back recently, had depression issues. We talked about Skip Bayless, the nonsense he did a month ago, whatever, when Dak was upset about that, which was ridiculous. He's had the contract up and down stuff. The guy's been doing class act the whole time. I think you saw yesterday when the likes of Patrick Mahomes, you name the athlete yesterday in all sport, LeBron James, you name them. They were all outpouring their wishes and prayers and pulling for Dak. I mean, that's the kind of guy this guy is. I think there's only a handful of guys like that. I think Russell Wilson's probably one. Patrick Mahomes definitely is one. Drew Brees will be one of those guys, I think. And there's a handful of those players, those athletes that people really, really like, even if they play for the team they hate. I mean, even if you play for your rival that you don't like. I mean, I don't like the Seattle Seabags, but I think Russell Wilson's probably a pretty decent fella. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I want them to do well. I love Patrick Mahomes. There's just certain, decent athletes out there, and Dak seems to be one of them. You're just seeing the outpouring yesterday was pretty cool. Let's see what Mom's got here. Anyway, can't stand Jerry Jones wise of the Cowboys during Landry's days. The Cowboys, yes, Cowboys facility in my neighborhood. That's true. The old Cowboys practice field was about 10 minutes from my house in Lake Highlands growing up. The Cowboys used to practice there up until they built the old Valley Ranch facility, which is no longer in existence. They had that facility, I believe. They moved into there in the late, I want to say 89-ish, 88 maybe, into Valley Ranch. They had 88. They were there until the Ford Center opened up a couple of years ago. Yes, Ford's been there. So Caroline graduated in 2018. I think they opened that thing in 16, maybe. That sounds right. 16 or 15. It's opened maybe 4. They opened the initial facility back in 15. They built around it now. The new Ford Center, the Star, is this huge complex that it really looks like a shopping mall. I don't know, combined retail, apartments, you name it, all that, all right there. But yes, as a kid, the practice field was close by, close enough we could ride our bikes there on a long, long day. We could. It wasn't very far away. As a matter of fact, I remember in high school, my brother Sam and I would have our high school football practices. We'd stop at a barbecue place called Coulter's. It was right next door, the Cowboys practice field. And oftentimes we'd go to Coulter's on a Tuesday or Wednesday for us, and you'd see the Cowboys coming out of Coulter's as well because it was next door. They were getting their barbecue. You see the linemen and the big guys in there all the time getting barbecue to go or coming in having barbecue as well. I remember seeing Randy White and I think John and a handful of Cowboys all having barbecue. And they had an all-you-can-eat rib thing. I think they were just going to town on the ribs at Coulter's back in the day. So anyway, what you guys got? So I got a little tangent there, but I just wanted to. I guess if the show had a theme today, it was more the theme of trying to explain the thing here. What I was blown away by the fact that was. Honey, buddy, can you just relax, please? Dog's trying to paw about getting back in. Again, I'm not trying to. This is by no means. I'm not telling you what team to like. I'm not saying that. You can hate the Cowboys all you want, and that's fine. I just think this. To put it in perspective, there was a time that this metropolitan area was thought of to be the worst place around on the face of the earth. Not that case anymore. People move here. I mean, people are moving here to Texas, into this metropolitan area, both others as well, daily and by the thousands, by the truckloads, and population, I think the state in 1970 would have been maybe 12 million back then, something like that, I'm guessing. Now it's bigger than more people here live here than all of Australia. So we're looking at, 30 plus million people. So anyway, what else we got? Everybody else okay today? Again, prayers for Dak. Again, what I love about sport is that there's certain players. I'm trying to think of one. Dirk Nowitzki's one. I'm not a Mavericks guy. Everybody knows that. I'm a Spurs guy, but Tim Duncan as well. Guys you liked. I had a hard time ever disliking Michael Jordan. I had a hard time ever disliking him as a player. There's certain team guy. Magic Johnson's a guy. The Lakers I couldn't stand, but I always liked him. Always thought there was something decent about him. So companies are moving all the time. As a matter of fact, they're talking about and not just DFW, but also the state. Austin's become a really big telecom internet. What do you want to go? Silicon Valley 2, if you will. DFW with two major airlines are based here. Southwest was founded here, and American moved here. Buddy. Hold on. Let me do this live here. Let me let him in. Sorry about that. The wife's tutoring, but the dog. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, what else? Oh, a big weekend here. Texas OU. It was Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Here's what's crazy about football. And you guys that follow football know this. It uses your body of work that figures out how the game's determined. But dang it, if there are times of one play makes a huge difference. And with about 3 minutes left, Oklahoma gets the ball back, right? Now, granted, in the college, there's no 2-minute warning. And I believe Texas at the time had either I think they had 2 timeouts left. They call one to stop the clock after a running play. On third down, when I believe I think they were out of timeouts. I think they were. They were. They throw a pass. Now, granted, ballsy play. If they catch it, get a first down, game over. They don't convert it. The guy drops it drops it for the first down gain. Clock stops, and it gives them Texas enough time to come down and tie after the punt. Here's the deal: if they even run down to take the 5-yard penalty on the punt, that probably wins you the game enough because there won't be enough time left. Or they run it down to 5, 4, 3, snap it, punt it. That clock keeps running. There's no way Texas is able to score with. I think they scored with 18 seconds left, or I think they ran the final play with 18. I think that's right. Yeah, it was 18 seconds left. Sounds right. They don't even get down. They don't even cross the 40. They don't cross midfield probably because they're going to run out of time. But they do, and of course the chain resets in college. That does help, but they went the length of the field when 80 yards, something less than 2 minutes because of that one play. But anyway, all good. NBA champion last night. Lakers did it. I got to tell you, I didn't watch any of it. I watched some of the Friday night game, but I guess I'm a terrible sports fan, I guess. general disinterest. And I'm not disinterested because of the NBA, because of any of the other things. That doesn't really bug me as much. I mean, I totally get why they're using that platform, so it doesn't bug me. I just kind of thought it took too long to finish it all up. They started the bubble back, what was that? It seemed like, was it July? So we're now second week of October. It took them July, August, it took them 3 months and 2 weeks to finish the season, which was already in its, when the thing went locked down, we were into March, right? So they had another, basically another month to finish plus the play. They'd have been done June. So they'd have been done, let's see, April, May, 2 months. They'd have been done in 2.5 months. Instead, they were drug this thing out that long. I thought it was a great idea, the bubble thing. It worked, but I was out weeks ago. I guess when the Mavericks weren't in it and the Spurs did make it, I mean, but still, it's just kind of like, it's almost as if that was a made-for-TV event, not so much made-for-TV, made for the Lakers event to get them, I had no problem finishing the season. That makes sense. I mean, yeah, you finish the season, but I mean, they're going to start one up again, what, a couple months? For whatever reason, it didn't. The baseball made sense. Baseball makes sense to me because this is when baseball will be going on already, so it makes sense. And how about Mike Brosseau, young man from Northwest Indiana, former Perth Heater, a mate of so many people that I know and myself, hit a home run for those Rays over the week, or would have been Thursday night, beating it was Thursday night, beating the Yankees, and sending the Rays to the championship series against the Astros, and for the winner goes the World Series anyway. By the way, there will be fans for the first time at the new Globe Life Park in Arlington. There'll be first-time fans who have ever been to that ballpark, and I believe it'll be the first time they've had anything besides friends and family only in these playoff games. So that's also a big deal, too, that people are actually being able to go in and see this stadium that's been built, but no one's been able to go inside and see. So that's all good. Tonight, Monday Night Football, it's going to be the Chargers and Saints. Bit of a random matchup, isn't it? Sort of. I mean, they don't play every year. They don't play every 4 years, and they play every 8 years in New Orleans. So that's kind of a bit of a strange matchup. NBA is boring. Bunch of guys shoot the ball over there. Yeah, well, yeah. I think we got more into the hockey here locally because the Stars went to the Stanley Cup Finals, but it just seemed like in both cases they went along, but that's been done for 2 weeks. They're both along the same line. They're only about a week apart. I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe I'm just being old guy here, and I like the NBA. I'm one of the few people who will tell you I usually prefer the NBA over the college game of basketball usually. Maybe it's because the Spurs have been so good for so long that maybe why I watch so much NBA. I don't know, but maybe. I mean, I had the the NBA pass forever back in the day in the Spurs heydays. I mean, I would watch that before I'd watch the colleges. Of course, back then Tech wasn't very good in basketball. Now they are. So I guess it's all changed. I guess it's all where your teams are, right? Okay, what else we got? Anybody else got anything? By the way, anybody who does what I mean, it's too late. Not too late, but not too late to pop on. You've heard my rant today. 81 degrees here. This was State Fair weather. This felt like a day at the State Fair today. A little warm in the mid part of the day, out in the sun, but it felt great. As the sun's making its way behind, it's going to get a little more comfortable in the 60s. What a great day to take your sleeves with you and you're wrapped around your waist to the fair, and you need it at night maybe on the midway, but not a State Fair this year. So anyway, green room's open. Anybody wants to stop in, you can. Got a little Starbucks here. This is actually a pretty good coffee. They make this new coffee, and let me see if I can find the name of it because it's a newer one. Let me pull this up on my app. Of course, I make a lot of coffee here at the house. I got my Nespresso Magic, but this thing is called it's new one. They've had a couple of weeks in it. It's daggum good, and it's only 40 calories. Let's see if I can order this here. It'll come up. Hold on. It is called Yeah. Dang it. Not helping me at all here, folks. It's a new one, and it's not even coming up in my. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's called cold brew with dark cocoa almond milk foam. That sounds a mouthful. But it's cold brew coffee with dark cocoa almond milk foam. So it's almond milk that's cocoa flavored almond milk. It's only 40 calories for this, 20, what is this, 28 ounce, 24 ounces, whatever it is. And the normal iced coffee I get usually is 200 calories with sweet cream or whatever. This one not. Or a normal venti iced coffee with milk's 170 calories. This one's just 40. So, and it tastes good too. It's good. So it's an iced coffee with a little cocoa in it. It's good. I did read, as a fat kid struggling to get skinny, one of the big things that hurts your weight loss is the extra beverages. Extra beverages. Let's see what we got here. Sorry. Mom, I don't know where Kevin is. I haven't seen Kevin in about a week or so. I don't know. I think he's kind of like everybody else. This show's kind of meh. I guess I'll have to cut it 2 days a week. Maybe I'll do it next week. Cut it 2 days a week, and maybe you have to start preparing more bells and whistles for it. I guess. But Kevin's been watching some hockey too. But he'll check in here and there. But I haven't seen him and talked to him in about 10 days or so. So yeah, I do know he's okay. But anyway, yeah, I don't know where he is. I'll have to ask him where he is. Kevin, where are you, bud? We need you. You guys like this show? I mean, anybody thumbs up besides Mom and my wife? I mean, am I just wasting people's time? The reason this thing was started in the first place was during lockdown because we couldn't go anywhere and do anything. And then I kept it going through the summer because it was kind of a way to keep in touch because most people weren't going anywhere and doing anything. And we're still kind of not doing much. We're doing more. We're going more places. But it's like I told the young lady that cuts my hair today. I mean, 2020 is a different world. I mean, you're with the mask and it's just the way it is now. It's different. Planning things. My wife and I were trying to find something to do this weekend, and boy, the pickings are slim. Slim. I mean, we're trying to plan some trips. The pickings are slim, folks. Told you guys the other night, my mate in Australia can't even leave his state, at least till the spring. Well, which would be their fall. Yeah, crazy. Anyway. All right, I guess that'll wrap it up. I didn't get a lot of input from you guys. I'll have to do more. I'll try to promote this more, I guess, and see what I can do because I don't really get. I'm not getting a lot of viewership, and I guess that's because I've kind of I've not worked as hard on as I probably should. So let me work a little harder on the show. I'll give you guys something. I don't know what we'll do on Wednesday. We'll come up with something. Trying to get going back again on get some content for you guys. But see you guys on Wednesday for sure. Have a great rest of your Monday. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday. And don't forget to be better tomorrow than you were today. And show some love, some empathy, and let's be kinder, gentler, and let's fight through this whole 2020. Regardless of what side of the fence you sit on politically, we're going to get through it, and we're going to be able to, somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose, and we're going to go forward. And granted, it may be more expensive for some of us to go forward, but we're going to go forward, all right? So all good. All right, much love to you guys. Let's give you guys the air hugs here. There I am, my Cowboys kit. There we go. There we go. Yes, there's Shirley. See you guys on Wednesday, 5 o'clock Central Time. Well, hopefully y'all think of something great to do. If not, we'll just, hey, I don't know. I got to grow this show somehow again, get the momentum going because it's definitely dying on the vine. And if you guys are watching this on replay, thanks a lot. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. And again, you guys can, it's like I tell the T-Bones fans, you guys can go to this link here and jump on anytime. It's your show. Jump on, have some fun. All right, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Much love. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. And we'll see y'all then on virtual happy hours. See you later.